Try again. Try again. Yay, we finally are getting something. Oh, goodness. As per usual, 30 minutes to try and do this. Oh, goodness gracious. Come on, quit buffering and work. Not getting good results. Well, it's in the wrong category for one. This is not supposed to be that category. Yay! Okay, because here it looks like it's doing nothing but buffering. Yay! I'm only 5 minutes late this time. This is my world, folks. Okay, good. As long as it's working on that end, I am great. Oh, good morning. Crazy day already. I have been up since 12:30 this morning. Jill, you know why. My head's kind of twisty at the moment. Hi, Emmy Lou, beautiful. It is so nice to see you here. Oh my goodness, it's so nice to see you here. It's nice to see everybody here. I had a wrench thrown in my yeah, hello, brain. My plans and routine. And Jill knows my 7-year-old grandson is here and being just as cute as could be. Well, I only have this one, and it was a gift from Carolyn. And I think she chose this one for 2 reasons. She has it. Hi, Alexis, beautiful, my love. And because she knows, you know, me and the animal thing. I love animals. That's my whole world, is animals. So I thought that what we would do, because I received my birthday gift from last year that didn't get sent out last year because of the heat. It would have melted it. And I received my birthday gift for this year, both at the same time from Jill. And they are watercolor. I got really nice watercolors. And she got a new, I think it's 96 in the set, isn't it, Jill, for the full set? But she had the 40 color. And when she got it, it had some breaks in them and everything else. And she didn't use them very much. And I want to expand my watercolor use for backgrounds in my artwork. Oh, I didn't know that. But that's who this author is. It's Joseph Kattenbang. Bang. Whatever. Okay, 84 is a full set, but she had the 40, and she was kind enough, because I wanted Neo 2s so badly, that she sent me this for this year's birthday, which isn't until June, but that's okay. So, here I have lots of pretty colors, and it looks great. These are like, I explained these to my grandson because he wanted to know what they were, and I said that they are crayons for adults, but they are water soluble. Hi, Jamie. So, we have these beautiful things, but one of which is my all-time favorite color from Caran d'Ache, which is malachite green. That is just, oh my goodness, most beautiful teal. I tested them direct on paper. Isn't that sweet? Where you see the other half that was for last year. And I tested them off of a palette type surface onto paper with a brush. And I prefer it from the palette to the brush. So this is for this year's birthday. Now these are for last year's. And the reason some of them are sitting on top is that they're held on with magnets. And Jill, being Jill, is so sweet. She put what line the watercolor is from, which is Sonnet, which is made by the St. Petersburg company that does White Nights. White Nights is their top of the line. This is their next step down. And Jill, I found something out. They aren't, oh, I loved them, but you wait till you see these. She also put the color and the pigment number on all of them. This is the most gorgeous. In fact, I can show you what purple this is. This one on top that looks so dark is this purple. It's so pretty. Right, it was hard to figure out how to get them here without melting them. Because the sonnets are not only made with gum arabic, they are made with honey. So because of that, they would melt in the heat. And she was kind enough to do a swatch card for me. What a sweetie. And I played with these a little bit yesterday, and oh my goodness. This is going to be awesome for the coloring books. Yes, you got the regular White Nights one. And so I got this, but the cool thing is that a happy accident happened last year. I ordered a particular specialty set of pencils from Jackson's, which is in, I believe, England. And they accidentally sent me the White Nights 12-step pencils. So these are the White Nights pencils. Those are the White Nights Sonnet watercolors. So they actually work together. Now, my other watercolor pencils are also fabulous, and they are so budget friendly. They are Anna Veloci's. I love them. They work amazingly, and it's a 72 color range for about $15. You can't beat it. And they're so pigmented. They're amazing. Because, you know me, if it's a pencil in my hand, I will try to figure out a way to work with it. Yeah, I believe it's in Great Britain. So it's in England, is what I understand. But what I thought we would have fun doing today is we're going to play a little bit. Okay? So I have some tips. Now, I know a little bit about watercolor. I know the basics. You know, I know how to use them. I know how to get more transparency versus more opaque placement. All that good stuff. But Jill is a real watercolorist. She is absolutely amazing. And anytime I want watercolor tips, I call her. So, no, nobody wants to know how many. You could live eating your watercolors and pencils, honey, and never run out. So I'm going to put these down here on my nightstand, because that way I have quick, easy access. So what I did was I got one of my mason jars. See here? Full of water. Not completely full, but full. And I have two of my favorite brushes to work with. Now, this is a Taklon nylon. So all of my brushes are cruelty free. All of, oh good Lord, Jill. And these are also Taklon, but they're slightly different than this. This is my favorite shape of brush, period. A filbert. I can do almost anything with a filbert. Yes, I know I do, sweetie, but we have my other tool. We have these. We have my water brushes. That's why the jar is just to rinse. Okay? So, this is my big fat one. That's a cheapie. Works okay. Now these are my babies. These are the Kiritaki Zig. And this is their fine point, if I remember correctly. I am in love with these brushes. In love. The water is well controlled. They're super amazing. Now, I also have a nice microfiber cloth that's not going to put off any dust or fibers to get onto my brushes. Oh, I bet, Jill. Good Lord. I bet. I'd like to have a squirrel watercolor brush at some point. I know that's not cruelty free, but I want that shape of a brush. I don't need it to be real squirrel hair. In fact, it'd be better if it wasn't. But I like to use this cloth to work with watercolor based mediums, and then when I'm done, I just throw it in the washing machine with something, and you know, I have a clean cloth. Now this time I have something on the paper. But that is what I use to wipe my brushes and keep them clean and all that. Oh, I hope Tara Lynn is here somewhere. But I talked to Tara Lynn and told her what my idea here was. Cloth diapers wrapped around a sponge. There you go. This is just for me. I don't know, too much water in them, and then I've got all the pigment out. Well, I don't have that stuff available. Working with what I got here, lady. Yeah, Jill is really... She is... For anybody in the diamond painting community that knows her, or in the color community, you all call her Boots. She is so awesome. Yay, you are here, beautiful. Oh, no, are you okay? You say doctor's appointment. Is this a normal appointment, or is something going on? Hello, Piggy Pie. There's my daughter and my little tiny grandbaby in her belly, and my 9.5-month-old grandbaby out of the belly, probably running around going, I hear grandmom. So Carolyn and I talked about this book when it arrived, because I was just like over the moon when I got a look through it. It is very similar to Kirby, but not as full on every page. It's not so overwhelming. And what a lot of you will like about this is it has perforated pages. Awesome, right? So that will help a lot of people. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of tips here. Oh, by the way, you guys, please, I need 2 favors from all of you. Aw, that's my boy, my feto. I found out that YouTube has kind of reworked their algorithm for how videos get thrown up to the front to be put out and seen. And that is to share them on social media, but the number one thing is the likes. If it has likes, then it goes faster out into people's notifications. I did not know that. Well, this does too. This has some hidden and a few random. But the imagery, you guys, look at this. And yes, I played a little bit in it. What I've done with the hidden and random images in this is I have made them red. Peril and brown from Karen Dosh Luminance is what I'm doing. This is the random item that I found right there. But I love this. Look at his owl. Oh my, and his fox. The detail in them is beautiful. I'll show you a couple of other pages before we decide to do anything. So, here we have these beautiful koi. Look at that. I wonder if I can zoom out. I don't think I can on live streams. That's the problem. I haven't figured that little trick out. But the koi, and you've got the flowers, and, you know, you've got like a comb, a mason jar, a few little hidden items, but you've got lots of background area on his pages to play with. So, that is something that everybody kind of goes, why do you do the backgrounds in the Kirby's? Yeah. It did have, does it have yin yang? Oh, yeah, the koi are. So, you see, he leaves you area to, oh, this one's going to end up not in my house when she realizes what it is. Good God. Sarah. Watch her squeal on stream. I'm waiting. She's just going to go nuts. Sarah has been collecting unicorns. I know you want it, baby. I knew that was going to be the response. She has been collecting unicorns since she was a very, very, very small child. Oh, they are friends. That's awesome. So this, just the imagery in here, the artwork is so beautiful. This one has a lot of mythological creatures, but it has a lot of living creatures also. Right, Alexis? Now, this is available, if I remember correctly, on Amazon. But this one came from the book depository because she was already placing an order there. Yeah, there's some hidden items in here, Piggy, and that makes this fun. Like the bunny. Look over here. Eggs. I was like, oh my goodness. That is so perfect with Easter coming, you know? But I just think that this has so many possibilities, just like I do so much on my Kirby's, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples before we get started in here. Okay? I've been working on a couple of my Kirby's. Which, y'all know me, that's my life. If I'm not working on an image, I'm creating an image. So, hi, I'm Eskies. This is what I do. Okay, so with our owl that we were working on last week, you can see our little guy turned red. All of the basic colors are in here. And I don't think this lighting shows it very well. So, watch Instagram for the final picture. This is going to get background painting to bring those colors forward and make them pop. Thank you, Jill. So I've been working on that one. And another one, which I don't know why this has fascinated me lately, but when my head's spinning, of course I pick a picture that looks like it's spinning, but to me it's making sense. And me being you know, overly anxious and not having my watercolors yet at that point, I went ahead and started doing all the rocks individually, these stones. So I'm just going to continue that with this piece. But yeah, this is actually the cover page. But what is cool about it is there is a hidden thing in it. In this wheel, you have to really look for it, and I marked them in red because it's a hidden item. It says Mythomorphia. That to me was awesome, since Mythomorphia is my favorite one of his books so far. No. But you see, I have my stag done and all of the autumn colored leaves. Okay, that was all pencil. Now, down here's a little different. The baby dragon and the egg, the fish, the, what is your name? I think one of the names for him is Articane, but anyway, it's the seven-tailed fox, but they gave him wings. And our mommy dragon are all watercolor. And one of them is my only Inktense. So, I'm trying to take myself out of the it only can be pencil set of mind, and do this where I'm utilizing more watercolors, because I want to learn to use them on backgrounds. I just think that that would make a huge difference in what I do and what I can do, and I think it would be more fun that way for everybody that I'm trying to teach. So for some of these things, we're just going to go, okay, let's pick a page and let's just have a good time and play together. But there's going to be pages where it's intended so I can teach you guys some techniques, in case you don't know them. Or if you do know them, grab a page, color, diamond paint, do something, but hang out, have a good time, because that's the whole point here. So before we get going any further, I'm going to let everybody know, in case you're coming in later, I am so grateful for all of my returning viewers and friends and daughter and grandchildren in the live stream, and very thankful for the new people who have come to the channel also. Thank you so much. I'm trying so hard to build this channel without killing myself in the process, which I tried to do year before last. I just was driving myself nuts. But that having been said, on this channel you will more than likely hear barking. And on this channel for this live stream, you will probably at some point hear my grandson in the background, because, well, he's 7, guys, and he knows he's not allowed in here because of COPPA regulations, but I can't, yeah, art class. I can't help it if you hear him from out there. Hi, Gail! So, we will be doing some surprise live streams. Keep your eyes on my Instagram, keep your eyes open on my channel, because we will probably... Oh, thank you, Alexis. I'm trying. We will probably be doing some surprise diamond painting live streams, too, on days when I feel up to it. I personally am shocked that I managed to get myself here today, of many days in the year. Today was the day that 5 years ago I lost my Snowy. So... usually, I do not talk to anybody, I do not do a live stream, I do not make a video, I just try to cope. But with Danny being here, I have to be a little more cautious, because if he sees me getting emotional, he gets very upset. He does not like for grandmom to hurt in any way. He's just such a good and empathetic boy. So, oh, you probably would have still been asleep. No, baby girl, I've been asleep since 12:30, or awake since 12:30 this morning, and your son has been up since 6 o'clock this morning, so, yeah. Busy day. I'm telling you, there's never a dull moment in this house. In fact, he already helped me feed Snowflake her wet food, and give the rest of the can, split it up between the other puppies. Yeah. He's actually being a good boy and a good helper. Very good helper. No, he does not. That child has such a good heart. Such a good heart. Yes, he has certain issues that he has to deal with and we have to deal with. But he does not like for anybody to hurt. He's got a good, strong soul. So, yes. So this is the page that is the first page to color in the book. So I've looked it over, and that's what I'm doing on my own to experiment and try different media and see how we go. But I thought that we would choose a subject, you know, because I always do my artwork in realism, photorealism, all of that. I thought it would be fun to choose something and do it like it's a fantasy page. Something very unusual for me. Almost unheard of, let me tell you. And Jill, if you don't have this one, you're going to want it because, utter. Okay. Oh no, he's definitely an empath, and there is no way to hide your emotion from that child. No possible way. It just never gonna happen. Never, ever, ever. But he has a good heart, and he is definitely my boy, and I love him. I do love him. He's such a sweetheart. So I'm trying to find the page that I had in mind, because I pre-marked it, but then I pulled the bookmark out like a dork. Because, you know, it's me, and I do everything backwards, it seems. Oh, Sarah, you cannot have this one. Look at the Pegasus. Ha 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 ha. If you're stealing the unicorn, I'm keeping the Pegasus. That's just how that's going to go. Everything I do, she wants it. Oh my goodness. Sarah and everybody, you're going to get a kick out of this. If you believe in astrology at all, okay, you know that we all have signs. I have all these books. There's no Gemini, no Sagittarius, no Aries, none of that. This book has a Capricorn, which is Nick, Danny, and my husband. They're all Capricorns. I got such a kick out of that. I was like, really? Really? Of all the things you could give me, you give me Capricorn? That's so not nice. But I will do this up probably for Nicholas because, you know, he's probably going to love it. Yes, you're a Sagittarius. I'm a Gemini. Your big sister's a Leo. Bonnie is a Leo. And all of the boys, except for Charles, in our family, are Capricorns. And my little baby granddaughter that's coming, haha, Gemini. And I hope she's a redhead. Just for fun with my daughter, I hope this baby's a redhead. And that'll be fun. Oh my goodness. I'm jealous, Jill. Send a couple here. Because I can't gauge whether or not it's something I would ever use until I try it. Oh, Alexis, look at the... Look at the ox. But there's one in here that you will love. If I see it along the path here. There is a buffalo in here. I think we'll play with Mr. Froggy a little bit. Because he looks more fantasy. But I gotta find the buffalo for my friend. And Sarah, there's a stork with a baby. I'm serious, baby girl. This thing is just, like, made for me to have a good time with. So made for it. There's my phoenix, a bear. I think that's a falcon, if you ask me. There's a jellyfish, a horsey, which, you know, I love horses, so that works for me. Oh, these are just, the detail in them is gorgeous. I'm trying to find it. It might be a different book and my brain is fried, but I don't think so. There's my wolf. There's the buffalo. See, I knew there was a buffalo. Yeah, but she doesn't count. She's just a mean teenager, so poo on her. So, Alexis, look at that. There is a buffalo. You know I'm going to have fun with this one. Yep. Yep. So, how about if we start with a frog, because we can play with watercolors. And, well, is that... I was looking at the one that I could do a water background so we could really see what the watercolors could do, but if I do the froggy, I can, okay, we'll do watercolor base on the frog. How's that? I just have to get this to sit still. I knew you would love that. And Jill put the link to this book in there. No, honey, I'm like going in 10 directions and every single electronic device I have is in use. So, no, sweetheart, I saw the one in here about the Holbeins. Oh, you still remember Charlie. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. My baby girl still remembers our buffalo friend. Yeah, that's pretty cool. He was very, very sweet and super tame. Oh, my goodness. I think he was somebody's pet. Yes, I saw that, baby. I said grab a few and send them to me, please. And yes, Piglet, I do have my coffee. I don't want to hear about it. I've got my doggone coffee. That is so cool. We rescued him. He was just so neat. He was roaming loose and where there were lots of traffic, and we just couldn't have that, so we put him, you know, on the ranch with the horses in a different pen, of course. But he was just so sweet. He loved my kids, and we fed him, and he was such a sweetheart. Okay, so does anybody want to work on this froggy with me? Because I think we could have some fun. And that doesn't mean you got to do this image. I just mean grab something and let's play a little bit. This even came with a cute bookmark. Okay, so as per usual with me, I have a sheet of paper to keep under my hand. Now, on my professional stuff, I use glassine under my hand, but the reason for this is so I don't get hand oils on the paper that will then affect the way that colors and things, products and stuff will lay down. Now, because I have the paper under my hand, and it is an acid-free sheet of paper, I washed my hands, of course, right before I started. Because, again, hand oils. But now I can put some hand lotion on so they'll quit being dry and kind of itchy. It's that time of year. It is definitely that time of year. Gosh, this lighting looks horrifying. I do need a glove. I do. I wish. Yes, you did, baby girl. Do you remember walking under my horse Shiloh and me about having a heart attack? Going, no! And then Shiloh just looked down at her like, oh, okay, it's you. Oh my God. I nearly had a heart attack. She was a huge quarter horse. She was just shy of 16 hands. And let me tell you, she was the sweetest horse you could imagine, and she had been abused being turned into a cutting horse in rodeo. They did so by hitting her with a 2x4. Lucky I never met them in person. Let's just say that, because you know I have 2x4s. Anyway, but I did get her. Well, my friend Jimmy got her, and he gave her to me because she liked me so much, and she really was not great with other people. She was just terrified and didn't want to do anything. Yes, you did. Do you remember giving them both sweet grain? Now, we didn't mess too much with Shawnee because Shawnee was a mean sorrel. Really not nice horse. Yep, and we even used to braid her mane. Well, I did, and you got to help me, but yeah. Because we had to do it loosely enough, and I was afraid that you'd tie it in knots, kind of like you did your hair. Which was kind of funny, until I had to fix it. For those who don't know, my daughter has very beautiful, naturally curly hair, and I mean ringlet curly. So, she tends to get knots in her hair very easily. Like, super easily. Okay, so I know that for this one, I want this one particular red. Okay. I'm going to use my water brush because I want to go in pretty close. I'm shifting again for you. on these toes. Now, this is actually not fantastical, now that I think about that, because this is an actual type of frog. And I colored this frog late last year for my grandson, Dante. And he absolutely loves that silly thing. He thought it was like the coolest looking frog ever. So I thought we'd do him one again, or one for Charles. We'll see. But I have a couple of pictures that I'm going to do for Rose before she's even born. Honey, I can't. All my devices are in use, you goofball. Hello. So what I'm doing, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to see how these pages take water media, so we can determine if we have to use a drier brush. Can we use the water brush pens? You know, what will this paper handle? I just want to know. I don't want to ruin anything, so I'm being cautious, but I do want to know what we can and cannot do on this paper. And have it look really good, is the whole point. Because, you know, that's the whole idea. Okay, so we have red toes on a foot. There we go. You hear your monkey? Yes, baby. Your monkey is running around my house with his Uncle Nick. Being a crazy child. He had cinnamon sugar toast that Aunt Bonnie made him for breakfast. And he's had grapes already. The rest of the grapes. So I'm pretty sure Bonnie will show up with more grapes. Or some kind of fruit. She went and got him the Kool-Aid type individual juices. She spoils him. She does. She spoils my grandchild. And I think it's because she doesn't get a lot of opportunity to spoil her grandchild as she would prefer. Actually, they're really bright red here. So yeah, the color is off, which sucks. They're really, really beautiful, vibrant red here. Now these are, sorry about the banging, these are one-sided pages. Okay, so the one that I had more water on, the color went through ever so slightly. It's really not warping per se. So my advice would be, if you're doing this out, you know, on your own, with one of these books that are perforated, I would take it out and tape it down. That is me. Ooh, thank you. Let me see if changing this lighting will make it look more red. Does it look more red now, guys, than orange? Because that's what I'm trying to do, is give you the truest possible color. Oh no, in real life they come in red too. I know, because I went and did a bunch of research and got photos and before I did that drawing for him. That coloring page, because I wanted to make sure I got that pretty correct. It depends on if they're male or female piglet. This one didn't get quite enough pigment. So we're going to add a little more. And we're going to go on to the next toes. But I'm having fun playing with these watercolors. And I feel like I'm just a little kid with a new toy, you know. Because I'm a big kid with a new toy. But I will tell you, when you're using these water brushes, hold them down here, not up on the squeezable barrel, because if you accidentally put pressure on them, you're going to end up with a soaking wet page. And I would imagine, at least for me, that's not the goal. Okay, so I want that to look a little raggedy. Oh, I'll tell her. But I don't think they're really in season right now, are they? I don't know. I don't like mangoes, so I personally would not have a clue. I know, I'm strange. I like papaya, but I don't like mangoes. And I don't like papaya fresh, only if it's dried. I have odd taste. I'm a peach person. That's me. I love peaches. I love anything peach. Peach flavored. Fresh peaches, peach tea. I make awesome peach cobbler. So, The other thing about the zigs that you might want to know is the caps will stay on the top. The reason I can't do that is I'll bang into the camera. So, yeah, I think I'm kind of the exception to the rule for fruits. I don't know why, but mango just, to me, it tastes like raw wood. I've tried it different kinds and at different ripenesses, and it tastes like raw wood. There you go. And Sarah, it's R-I-P-E, sweetie. Sarah's dyslexic, so when you guys hear me do that to her, I'm not being mean. I'm trying to help. Oh, man, and the white peaches. Oh, that's my favorite, even over the clean peaches. White peaches are the bomb. I like to make fresh peach tea with those. They're so good. I'm sorry about the congestion and cough, guys. I don't know when it's finally going to decide to go away. Honey, I've been half asleep since 12:30 this morning. And every time I think I wake up, I get tired. I don't know how long today's stream will be. But you know what? I at least want to get to spend some time with you guys. Just because it's a difficult day from my memory doesn't mean I need to pass that along. If anything, I try really hard to find some good in each of these days that are so hard for me. And I know my pretty boy, he would have most definitely wanted me to be on here having fun. He hated when I cried. He and Frosty could not stand it when Mommy cried. They hated it. Okay, so I'm taking my normal round brush, and I've taken most of the water out of it because I got a little too much water on this for my taste. And I'm just going to pull that up. And you can do it with a paper towel. Why? I know. He was such a good boy. Yeah, me too, Piglet. He was just... He was the sweetest, most affectionate, big, huge fluff ball you could possibly imagine. And he had nothing but good in him. Nothing but good. He was the most loving baby. And when we got him, he was utterly terrified of humans, and particularly men. He never did get quite over that with strangers, but he ended up coming to truly adore my dad. My dad would come to visit, and he would walk in the house, and he'd raise his voice just a little bit and say, "Where's my old white son bitch?" And Snowy would just come prancing to the door, happy as could be. But it took Bob about 2 years to really win that pup over. I'll tell you. And it took a lot of vanilla ice cream, vanilla wafers, lemon sandwich cookies. That was my pretty boy. Yeah, I do too, sweet girl. Thank you, guys. It's one of those 3 days of the year that is really, really hard for me. And their birthdays are, hurtful a little bit. But now Snowy's birthday has become much more painful because, well, that's the day last year that my son-in-law passed away. So, it's just fate, I guess. It's how it's meant to be. There must be a reason behind it, but there's what it is. No way. He just came to my door trying to get my attention. He was already warned he cannot be on here. That's your monster child. Oh yeah, Coke Slushies and Cocoa Puff cereal. Ouch! Sorry guys. He was forewarned. Multiple times. Not what we're going to do today. So, that's just what it is. So I'm sorry about raising my voice. I hope I didn't hurt anybody's ears. Okay, so now we're going to do this another way. We're going to play with the regular brush. Because what I want to do is see how much control over the water makes a difference on this paper. I don't know if I'm in frame. I hope I am. kind of. So, it takes, for me, a little more effort with a normal brush for some reason. I do not understand, but that's what it does. It's just me. It's just me, I'm weird. And Jill's probably laughing at me going, would you just relax your hand? Yeah, it's been that week, you guys. Nick is sick with a sinus issue, and he's grumpy when he's sick. So, that was a handful earlier in the week, but he's doing good now. Overall. And my Danny is being so good, but guys, you'll all remember this. When you were kids, jumping on the bed when you thought your parents weren't looking and that you could get away with it even though you knew that was a no-no. Oh, yes. Well, the bed that is currently in my studio, which is being gotten rid of in a few days, is a queen size. So I was sitting in my recliner yesterday, my little rocker recliner that I now have in my bedroom, and I can see into Danny's bedroom. Or my studio, Danny's bedroom, same thing when he's here. And he doesn't realize how good the view is. So I looked up, because I caught him from the, my periphery, the side of my vision. And he was running circles on that damn mattress while I was on the phone with his mother. And I'm still laughing about it. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, that's true. But he thought he was going to pull a fast one on Grandmom. Nope, didn't work. Did not work. And that, my dears, is Spirit drinking loudly, as always. He's such a cutie. He's such a good boy. And Fluff has already had her moist food for this morning. And she is asleep, fast asleep. He's a very, very sleepy puppy. So, now we have the red on. I think that looks so good. Yeah, but remember Snowy with those doggone cinnamon bears of mine. That pup literally opened the lid on the container to get into the giant container of cinnamon bears. I've never heard of a dog doing that, but Snowy sure did it. He was such an amazing baby. And good Lord, my Frosty. I don't know of anything that little girl wanted to do that she didn't just do. Because, she was Frosty. And we always joked that she and Snowy were magical. Because they could do things I've never seen other canines do. And then there's Chrissy. She has her own special tricks. Oh, yes, his yellow bear. Do you know, I think I still have the shell of it somewhere in a box in the garage. Because he pulled all the stuffing out after he tore the tag off. And he removed its head. And I had to put the head back on. So then he took a leg off and I had to put the leg back on. And that poor thing had more surgery than any toy you can imagine. But we tried. He wouldn't play with anything else. Yep. My crazy puppies. They were so awesome. I wish that you all had known them too, because between the 7 puppies, the 2 that are my angels, and the 5 that are here, I truly have an amazing pack. Excuse me, folks. I have to mute you momentarily. I don't care. I'll put you in timeout, boy. Okay, sorry about that, folks. He just likes to be in the middle, because, he's a kid. So I see something that I think should be purple, because it's me, and purple and teal are my favorite colors. But I want to check how the watercolors did on this page. See, they came through quite a bit on the ones that I had used too much water on. They came right through. Oh, yes, he did. And I didn't even have to yell. I just snipped. I didn't yell. I just snipped at him because he did something he knew better than to do. He had already been told. And Grandmama does not have a sense of humor. When I say do not come in my room, that is exactly what I mean. You're hearing his Uncle Nick get him, though. Uncle Nick might eat him before the end of this day. Okay, so, you know that gorgeous purple I told you about? It looks like an aubergine or eggplant purple when you see it in the pan. Wait till you see this. Gosh, you're a dirty little creature. This coming from my son who is OCD, so it's kind of funny. Now I can pull some of that color over, move it. Look at that. Bits of stuff. Oh, see, he's playing with Danny. He called him a little brat. There you go. That's their relationship. We were sitting eating lunch yesterday, and Danny just pops up and he goes, "You're my hero, Uncle Nick." And I just kind of looked at Nick and went, okay, now see, you gotta love him when he does that because he's cute. And Nick just gave me this look like, no, I don't. Fatso, what's the matters? What's the matter, Charles? What are you crying for? Tell Mommy, I want oatmeal. Now that's where he's like me. He likes oatmeal. I do. This is such a cool thing to play with these. See, I'm going to show you the color. Look at that in the pan. It looks almost brown. It's... Oh, he's got his fatso. He's got his foxy. And it's violet. But it's a really pretty shade of violet. I really like it. Oh, okay. Please be careful, Terralyn. Stay safe and wear your mask. And I am. I'm waiting for the other one to arrive. I'm going to dive into that when it arrives. You know I am. One of the reasons that I'm doing this book is because Terralyn wants some ideas for what to do in this. Well, just because I'm using watercolor doesn't mean you have to. You can do exactly the same kind of thing with pencil. I'm just choosing to put the watercolor down first to make the pencil work a little less because my hands have been hurting so bad. So, and because, you know what? It's another thing I want to gain more skill at. Now, on this kind of thing, this page would definitely never take a wet-on-wet technique. It would go right through the paper. And you'd have a soppy mess at the end of it all. Even once it dried, it would just be a disaster. This paper is just not heavy enough to handle that. And I do not think, from playing with this, that it has any watercolor sizing. However, I will say it is just the right color of white to really let the colors pop off the page, which I think is awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the watercolor for like little bits here and there to, you know, accentuate some colors that I don't have that exact shade in pencil anyway. Even though I have a lot of different colors of pencil in several different lines. Yeah, baby, it's bad. My right thumb is just holy baloney and it's all the way up my hand. It has been for over a week. So... and I keep trying to work my hand, rub it, but, you know, me rubbing it myself isn't doing any good. But I'm trying. Yes, I've done the hot baths. No, I still can't do cold. Yeah, it's just because the weather's going back and forth, back and forth. And, you know, I spend 6 to 10 hours a day with either a pencil or a diamond painting pen in my hand. So, yep, that's how that goes. I torment myself frequently. That's just me. I took some ibuprofen this morning because I'm out of Tylenol. And that's okay because the Tylenol wasn't doing anything either. I'm just going to have to get over it and call Janine and ask for some help with it temporarily. Because it's all through my back and stuff too, and my neck. It's everywhere where I've got the joint damage. So I really think it's all the weather fronts moving through. Aggravating these old bones. Ugh. No, just come do my hands. I don't want to do it by myself anymore. I'm old. No, she's talking about, I used to have a paraffin bath that I did mine and my kids' feet in, and I would do, you know, a different tub of wax that I would do the girls and my hands in. Nick had no interest in softening his hands. But he likes pedicures, so, you know, there you go. I did teach him, you get one set of feet, and if I were you, I'd take care of them. Yeah, I'm not completely broken. I'm still fighting my way through. I had to mop a little spot on the floor this morning when Spooky got up. He and I are going to have a conversation about this. No, I looked over at him and I went, seriously? That was not Spirit Boy, because he was right in front of my door. So he got in a little bit of trouble. Nothing major. I just let him know, not playing. Quit marking. And so when I use the bleach cleaner on there, then he gives up. Which will be later today. If I can manage it. If not, it will have to wait until tomorrow. But come Sunday, my plan is to set my butt in my recliner, or rocker, because I really don't recline it. That one reclines back so far because it's a real lazy boy that I go, ugh, and it scares the crud out of me because I feel like I'm going to fall. And it's funny because I've had people go, you're afraid of heights. No, not even a little bit. I love, you know, being in tall places and having that pretty view. I just don't want to be on the ledge. Okay? I don't want to fall. I went down a flight of stairs as a kid, and I think that kind of broke me from the whole falling. Yeah. I think that did it for me. So I'm going to finish this little patch of what looks to me like lilac, which is why I went with this color. There is another spot of it up in here, but I don't want to bore you guys to death, so I can paint that later. And we can move on. But I think these are going to come out really pretty, especially when I put some really deep purple into to give it shadows, and add a little bit of Chinese white to give it some highlights, or just, you know, pull a little color up, lift it up. One of the two. Alrighty. Yay! So, let me see, which color was that? I don't remember. Oh. Hang on one moment for me, please, ladies. I shall be right back. We've been on just about an hour, and if I don't get up for a sec, my hip is going to lock up, and that's not good. See, it's hell getting old, I'm telling you. It's okay, it's cold. Sorry, Spirit. Didn't mean to catch your nose, baby. It's a good boy. Sorry, folks, I needed to stretch, and 2/3 of a pot of coffee and a can of Diet Coke were going. Hello? Okay, Mommy's monkey, go away, because we can hear you. Go. You can't be on the stream. Go away. Yes, baby bug. Hi, Toker. Well, here. Take this to Uncle Nick and ask him to fix it for you. Oatmeal. Go out now. This child is a ham, Sarah. What did you do? You like that vibe? Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, Alexis, I went down a full flight, and I was super little, and I landed so badly that it made me afraid of it. To this day, I get a little bit shaky if I'm trying to go down a set of steps. I'm great going up. Well, I was till I quit being able to move, but, you know, mentally I'm great going up. Just not the down. No. Well, that's your problem. He is 9.5 months old. He will be 10 months on the 4th. Sarah is 5 months pregnant with Rose. And then she has instructions to get everything repaired, so to say, so that she's not pushing her luck. He's gotten to be a big baby. He's a big boy. He's so sweet, though. So sweet. So I'm going to do my kind of signature thing over here on this one fish. There's one fish in this picture. So I'll move it into frame for you guys so you can see it. He's such a cutie, Alexis. I'll post a picture of him on my Instagram for you guys. He is so doggone cute. That kid, and he knows it too, and he knows how to play it. Let me tell you. He knows exactly how to play on Grandmama's heartstrings. So I have one single koi fish in here. I do not know what it is, but Kirby Rosanus and this Joseph artist, they like to put a koi hidden in a lot of things. And my favorite thing to do with it, this is my only Inktense. It's the only one I have. And it's Tangerine, my very beautiful tangerine color and like a white or an off-white. So I like to kind of take my Inktense and use it because, you know, once this dries, it becomes very, very permanent. It doesn't lift, but I've never seen anything else with this particular orange. And I've seen a lot of pencil sets, watercolor sets, but there's something about this orange that just strikes me as that perfect koi color. So I'm going to bring this along his fin and his little scales, or hers, I don't know, could be a girl. And like I said, there will most likely be barking. Chrissy wanted to say good morning. I'm going to bring a little bit down on top. Okay. So what happens, for those of you who've never played with an Inktense, and by the way, you can get one free from Derwent if you go on their website and sign up. You can get one for free. They'll mail it to you. Ooh, Sarah, your child is stubborn. He's about to find out I'm more stubborn. Okay, so I'm going to grab my water brush. And look at that. It goes on this pale tangerine color, but you add just a little bit of water. And wow. And all of the Inktense colors do this. So it doesn't move around quite the same way as a watercolor, but it does move until you have activated it. Once you have done that, You are never getting it off the paper. Good luck. Not gonna freaking happen. Well, wetter than I want it there. So, you know, place it carefully. Remember that you can't erase it once you've activated it. It's permanent. Because it is ink. It is not watercolor. I don't even know if there's gum arabic in it to cause it to do what it does. But it is not watercolor. This is most definitely ink. But I just love that color. Oh, yeah. He is. Alexis. Girl. That's my little fatso. He is so fun. But man, when he's mad, you know it. He tells his mom, I do not like this. We are not playing. Get me what I want, please. And I think sometimes he forgets to please. Okay, so. The Neocolor 2 are made by a company called Caran d'Ache. Now, this is one of only 3 of these pencils that I own, and I would just love to have the whole set. These are called Super Color 2s. This in particular is the color Burnt Sienna. It's this gorgeous reddish brown, and I have this. One of the pencils I have is my favorite Caran d'Ache color. It's the Malachite Green. And the other one I have is their cream, which is more like an ivory. Oh, he's got just enough red in his hair to be feisty. I love it. Sarah keeps telling me, his hair's brown. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's got a little bit of auburn in those highlights. And let me tell you, he's going to be like his grandmama. So, I thought that we would use this as our base for our sign, which I think is meant to mean frog crossing. You can see why I'm not doing a ton of pencil work today. You watch my hands, they're just jerking every which way. So, I have to be kind of slow and deliberate with what I'm doing around anything else. Because it's not going to do what I want. And you know what's funny, Sarah? You know what this frog reminds me of? What, Alexis, you might know. There is a cartoon character from the old days when we were young that was a frog wearing a top hat with a magic wand and a cane. I think that's what this is meant to be. Because this looks just like that frog to me. Emily, you might know also, if you're still here. The 3 of us are old enough to remember those cartoons. I'm pretty sure it was like a Warner Brothers cartoon or something. Yeah, his eyes look a lot like my dad's. Which is really strange considering I'm adopted, but he does. He has my daddy's eyes, so... Oh, yeah. He is a curious child. So is his brother. That's why he wants to be in here. He loves everything art, everything crafty. He wants to learn to diamond paint, but because of his disabilities, so to speak, what I call his special needs, he can't track the patterns yet. So we can't quite yet go to diamond painting as badly as he'd like to. So I do make him a diamond painting every once in a while. So we can at least have the fun of the sparkle, because he also has something of his mother's that I named ADOS. And that is attention deficit, ooh, shiny. Yeah, something that most diamond painters have. So do women who love diamonds. Yeah, he used to sing, I can't remember his name. But that's who that frog this frog reminds me of. Is that cartoon frog.
Cartoon cat.
No, honey, not cartoon cat. We're talking about a frog. This is from way before you were born, sweetie.
Oh, you're not talking about
out. This boy is just determined. I hope I don't get hit with Kappa. I will bite him. So, anyway, that's what this reminds me of. Which brings back some fun childhood memories with my grandpa and Bob. That name is in the back of my head and I can't bring it forward. Darn it! And he's saying ragtime. Oh my good. I thought he meant Tom and Jerry, sweetie. My ragtime girl. Yeah. Yep, he's stuck in my head now. So, Sarah, your son has watched Paw Patrol today, and I don't think he's going to get more TV today because he's not listening to me. If he wants to mind himself, and Aunt Bonnie remembers to grab popcorn if she gets to come home in her own vehicle because she went to get it checked to see if it needs to be repaired. But I'll let her know if you're driving home, can you grab some popcorn so the brat and I can watch a movie. Because Danny has this thing when he comes over. He likes to curl up and hug Grandmom and watch a movie or a show or something. That's just his thing. Okay, so we have the Caran d'Ache Super Color 2 on there. Now I'm going to use my filbert because it's a large area. I just want to get it done quickly. And I have pulled the majority of the water out of it because I don't want this to overwhelm this page. Now these are really good watercolor. And I love these pencils. Someday I hope to get the whole set. These would be awesome to play with. But I am so careful with my malachite green because I'm so afraid of running out. And now that she sent me the malachite green in the Caran d'Ache and I checked it, it is right on the nose with the pencils. Those go a lot further. They stretch so much further. You'll need a little bit to do a whole lot. So I will get to use more malachite green in my work, which is cool. Yes, he's saying ragtime girl. That's what's stuck in my head. Looney Tunes character, Mr. Frog. Of course, it would be something simple and my brain wouldn't do it. Thank you, baby. I don't know why I remember that darn frog. But I do. Every time that I see a frog with a top hat, that's what I think of. It's crazy. So I'm just kind of patting this to activate it because I don't want it really wet. I'm actually working this much drier than it's designed to be worked. But that's because this page really is not happy with too much water. So, there we go. Now that we have our sign, I can do just some low lights on it. You know, add a little shadow when that's all nice and dry, and that'll be done. But I think... Well, let's try one more water product today because I do want to show you guys. And that is the Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2s. And I'm going to put a little bit of the malachite green on Michigan J Frog. That's what it was. Yes. He was so cool. I always loved that frog. I do not know why, but I always thought that was just the coolest frog ever. I sound like some kind of a nut. I really, really do. Okay. So, this one had a broken tip, but you guys know me, I'm not putting anything to waste. And so this is where I was working with it earlier, testing it. So I'm going to put some of that on there, and quite a bit, and you hardly need any. This is an old dollar store cutting board, and it's textured. So I was telling Bonnie, just, you know, get a new one for the kitchen. Let me have that old one, and I double checked with Nick to make sure he wouldn't get mad at me. And so that is how, instead of buying the very expensive one that Karen Dash makes, this is a very inexpensive way to go about it. Super cheap plastic textured cutting board, or an old one that's got all the lines cut into it already. So I put that on there, and I guarantee that's going to be enough for what I'm going to do here. Okay, I'm breathing again, guys, which is kind of strange today. It's been a hard day to catch my breath, so to speak. Alright, let's go back to my zig. Okay, I need a little more water, and we're going to activate it on the palette. And you see it just completely dissolves. Look at how beautiful. Now you see what my problem is. I have an obsession with this color. But these go so far. It's crazy how far the pigment will move. And he will have green on him. Just not right this second. First I want my malachite green, and there goes teeny tiny. She seriously does not like that neighbor, I'm telling you all. She doesn't like them. See, I'm still working on the one load in that brush. Look at that. It just keeps going and going and going. Ooh, let me move that so I don't put my hand in it. Would probably help. That just amazes me. And it'll still keep going. I just want a little more saturation right in here, because it's kind of in the shadow a bit. These, yes, it's $80 for that 40, 70 or 80, depending on, you know, what sale you manage to find. But I'll tell you what, I think that one tin of them would last you a lifetime. I'll be darned. Alexis, that's awesome. Sarah, thank you for the info on him, but I still to this day remember that doggone frog. Oh, I liked him. It's just a thing. I thought he was so cool, and I still do. Even at 50 years old, I think he was just the coolest frog I ever saw. Oh, look at that move. Oh, so pretty. I am literally obsessed with this color, in case you didn't know. To me, it's just like almost the perfect teal. I know it's called malachite green, but good Lord, that is a beautiful teal. And yes, this reactivates because it is watercolor. So even when it dries, you can lift it, you can pull a little bit more pigment. This stuff is amazing, just like the Sonnets and the White Knights and the Anna Velazquez. So that is the extent of my watercolor supply stuff. Beyond that, everything I own is pencil or acrylic paint, and I only use acrylic on canvas. Because that's really what it's made for. I used to use certain acrylics on wood and stuff like that, but, you know, I kind of got over it. I stopped doing all that stuff because I shake too much. So I'm going to kind of give him some personality here with just a little bit of water here and there. And what we're going to do here. Okay, so this is going to look really strange to you guys. Oh, that's awesome. Tell him I'm jealous. Hello, my darling. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime gal. Yep, I remember it. And no, I can't sing when I'm sick. Sorry, guys. So I'm pulling down from the top to get this motion across his face, even though he does not have fur. I know, it seems strange to use what everybody else thinks is only for fur, which it really is. Good move for hair, for fur. This is just me. I'm odd, you know. But what I do works, and what other people do work. It's just, it all depends on the person, what your body can handle, what your mind thinks to do. I think, you know, when you're playing in art, it's so personal and it's so individual. What works for me, somebody else might hate. You know, I might not like a piece somebody else does because maybe the colors aren't saturated enough, or, you know, maybe I think they went too deep with the colors, or they didn't put enough value, so they had darks and lights. It's so personal. There's no right or wrong. There are methods that, you know, you should use in order to get the best experience out of something you've spent a ton of money on. But, and I think with watercolor, it's the only right or wrong is, will the paper handle it? And the same goes with any kind of pencil or blending medium. I think that's basically, in my eyes, what it comes down to. I don't need to like the same products. I know there are people who love the Caran d'Ache Luminance. I like the ones I have. I prefer the Derwent Lightfast. You know, it's all based on what you find to be your special thing. Hi, CJ. What are you doing, Charles? Are you giving Mommy a run for her money, like a good boy? I know, I'm so mean. So yeah, this is, but I have to say, Caran d'Ache makes amazing watercolor products. Just like White Nights. But I think, you know, if you're going to go watercolor pencils, I love the Supercolor 2s. My next favorite is actually the Anavolacis, and then the White Nights pencils. I just think that their color range and how saturated they are an amazing product for the value. I have colored pencils that are not expensive that I love. I just need to get a case for them so they're more accessible to use. But it's just so individual. Oh, she would love that, Alexis. She's now working almost full-time hours, being very, very pregnant. And she's a good mom. She busts her little hiney as a mom. And I'm very proud of her because it's funny, when she was a really little girl, my dad and I agreed she was going to be the mommy. Because it's just, she was that nurturer, you know. She was that empath, and she felt everything everybody else felt. And we figured, yep, she's going to be the mom in the family. That'll be her mission in this world. And we had a feeling that although Nick was bucking it, that he would end up in the military. My dad said he'll go into the Navy at some point. And he did. And we always knew that Tia, she was going to be the one that was going to be, you know, the brainy kid with the math. And she would find something to do in administration or office work. And she does. She helps people enlist in healthcare programs. So, yeah, we pretty much nailed the kids' personalities down young. But my dad, he was just so right about these kids. And Sarah wanted to go in the Navy very desperately, but, you know, God had something else in mind, and he told her, nope, you're going to be a mom. Sorry. But she's so good at it, and she makes very pretty babies. Very, very pretty babies. Alright, so we are almost done with this. Look at that. I have not put any more color on that palette. And I'm almost done with the entire frog worth of this color. That, to me, means, yes, they may be a little bit more costly, but you are so going to get your money's worth out of them. They're very pigmented. They work without using a whole lot, so they're going to last a really long time. They re-wet very nicely. They lift very nicely. Yeah. It's kind of hard to impress me with watercolor paint because, you know, it's not my big thing. I'm a pencil person. So when I see one that works like this one, and like the Supercolor 2, and, you know, I got lucky. I got really good watercolor supplies from the start. I didn't end up with junk. And I would be so sad because if I had been working with garbage products, I would not have wanted watercolors. Because I would have gotten frustrated and said, nope, I don't want to do this. I'm good. Just leave me with my pencils. But that's me. I'm that way with brands of paint, too. If I don't like the way they work from the first or second time I use them, I'm probably never going to use them again, and I'll give them away. Look at that. All of his green is done. And that little bit that we put on there, there's still even some pigment on the palette. Oh, my Rosie. That to me is amazing. That's a lot of color. A lot of bang for the buck. Ooh, sorry about shaking, you guys. I be set up differently, trying not to jostle you and make anybody seasick like I normally do. So, yeah, I really like these. They're awesome. And then with these brushes, it's so easy to clean them. It does. It looks like a teal blue, but the name of it is malachite green. So with these, you just squeeze where it says push and rub it out on your cloth, and you have a clean brush. Now these colors will stain it. Malachite green will stain your brush. I promise it will stain your brush. What it is, Sarah, is it acts like a cobalt green. Oh, see, thank you, Alexis. Thank you. Because, look she takes care of the house. She has a 9.5-month-old, a 7-year-old. She's got 2 soon-to-be legally stepdaughters, but to her, they're her daughters. One of them is a new teenager, one's a preteen, and the teenager's a pain in the tuchus. She's got her significant other to deal with, plus she works a full-time job. Nobody can tell me that girl does not earn her keep. As my dad would have put it, she earns her keep. She does. She works so hard. And her significant other, in my opinion, does not treat her the way I would like it if he would. Like the queen that my child is. You know? And on top of that, you know, she's 5.5 months pregnant. Is it, Sarah? Oh, Alexis, you get a kick out of this. The puppies. Bonnie brought them home buffalo ears for a snack. Buffalo ears. I was like, what the hell? And these things are huge. Spirit chomped through his in 30 minutes. Gone. Gone. And Chrissy has all but finished hers. She chewed a little bit last night, and then she's been working on it all morning. Buggy's gone. Fluff has only had a little bit, and I think Spooky went through most of his. I would never imagine getting them buffalo ears, but Bonnie's being really good about making sure that whatever we get them is organic, it's natural, and we're not, you know, diving into sources we shouldn't. And it's the buffalo that they're farming for meat. Instead of wasting part of the animal, that part of the animal is being dehydrated for dogs. And I was like, this is awesome. Let's not waste any part. So, and these buffalo ears, honey, they're like that long. About 8 inches long and about that wide. I mean, it's crazy. They love them. It just shows the wolf in them, you know? It's crazy. I can't believe Chrissy's almost through that. And she's a tiny little, you know, about 15-pound puppy. But Eskies have so much wolf in them that they just went for that buffalo flavor. And I was like, well, you know what? It's preventing the waste of a part of an animal. They're going to farm it for food anyway. Let's utilize the healthy parts for the animals we have. Just like I love getting them venison because, you know, they need to do population control of deer here in Arizona. So if you go up about a fourth of the way to the Navajo reservation, there is this little place called Sunset Point. You go just beyond that into the turnoff for Prescott and Cave Creek. Because you go, you know, which way you turn is what determines where you're going. And there's this general store there. And they have venison, buffalo, all kinds of elk, all of that is the Native Americans have hunted for population control and food. And then they're selling, you know, some of this meat and resources. Oh my good Lord, girl. The venison jerky off there. I had a taste of it one time. And then Snowy took the rest of the package. Because we were on a trip up to Flagstaff. Let me tell you, my pretty boy and venison were friends. That was his thing. Where you going, Bubby? Okay. I'll finish up pretty soon then, so I'm not keeping him up. But yeah, that was Snowy's favorite thing. Was she is a strong woman and she is a queen, let me tell you. She's my princess, and she's stunningly beautiful. Alexis, you've seen her on one of my live streams. She's absolutely gorgeous. I hope Chris realizes how very, very, very lucky he is. Yeah, I know you like to eat venison. But I mean, it's instead of wasting parts of the animal, I thought that was so awesome that Bonnie recognized, hey, this is natural for a dog to eat in the wild, and we're not wasting parts of the animal, and it's organic. There's no preservatives. Let's go for it. And it even had an expiration date on them. So I know it was really, really fresh, and, you know, it's just something that's not going to hurt the babies. I don't want anything to hurt my babies. Yeah, I've only once had a bite of venison steak, and beyond that, you know, not really. And I've never tasted elk. So, but you know me and making Greek lamb. Now I'll do that once or twice a year. Oh, so it is a pet snack. Cool. But Bonnie was so sweet. She came home with those for them. You know, it was like 9 o'clock at night. She shows up coming in the door from everything she had to do with going to get her second vaccination. And I saw part of the malachite that I missed. Anyway, from everything she had to do with all that, she comes in at 9 o'clock at night. And what does she immediately do? Tell the puppies to hush and start handing them goodies. Uh-huh. Don't tell her, but she's a big softie. She really is. But we're not going to tell Bonnie that because she doesn't like to know that we know. There's what I missed. His arm. Hello, redhead. Dude has a second arm. I almost made Froggy look funny. Yeah, so. Yeah, that was the big excitement yesterday, was the babies had buffalo for only the second time. Because last time she got them some kind of buffalo treat, but and they loved it, but she decided instead of doing that, she'd get them each an ear this time. And I was like, okay, doesn't sound like anything that's gonna hurt them, so I'm on it. And boy, did they go to town. I could not believe Spirit. That poor puppy is just as blind as can be now. All he can see is a little bit of light and shadow. And for goodness sake, any kind of Disney store piglet, for goodness sake, those jaws on him are not lacking strength, let me tell you. He's still got those strong wolf Esky jaws. It's crazy. Oh, that's the trick to it. Okay. See, I've never had it, so I wouldn't know. But I know they hunt it up north of here around the Mogollon Rim, because the population gets too big and they start overrunning everything, and then there's no plants for the other animals. Oh yes, that boy's nose working, so do his teeth. I'm glad he likes me. I'm glad he likes me. I would not want to end up in his bite. which is kind of funny to say because he's about the sweetest giant baby you could imagine. Snowy was my big boy. Spirit is super tall. So, yeah. There you are. That's my puppies. Can I borrow that, Chrissy? Can I see? I give it right back, I promise. I promise. Let me see. Guys, that's all that's left of her buffalo ear. She's got it down that far, and she was not happy about handing it to me. And let's see. Part of the tip is missing. The tip of it, about that much, is missing off this one. And she and Buggy have it down that far. Yep. I think we found something they enjoy. But when Bonnie put one in my hand and went, why am I holding an ear? Because it's snowflakes. And I was like, it's an ear. And then today I was teasing Spirit. I said, baby, your ears are almost as big as those buffalo ears. And he just wagged his tail at me. He knows Mommy's playing with him. He's such a good boy. You know what we're going to do with this? And yes, I know the hat needs to end up black. I do remember. Well, Alexis, ask your man for me, please. Wasn't his top hat black? Because I want to make sure I'm not nuts. Oh, goodness. Okay, I thought so. So what I'm going to do is, instead of going straight to black, because anybody who knows me knows, yes, I will use black, but I like to tone it with another color. So we're going to start in this area that's going to be getting some light. We're going to use an indigo. And I think, yeah, this one is dark indigo. So now we're on to the polychromos. So we're into regular color pencil now. Oh, he holds his own cup. What a good boy. You're getting so big, honey. You're getting so big. I just, where the light is going to shine on this hat, because I have decided his light source is right up there. You know, that's me. Everything I do has to have that little hint of realism, because, you know, I'm just a little bit nuts. Not completely. So I'm going to come across here, and it's going to get darker as we go down to the bottom here. Right now it doesn't look like that because we're on the first layer. But I also want to keep my strokes directional so that it makes it look three-dimensional. I know, a little strange. Now here I can just follow the contour. Oops, that's the flower. Or the leaf. That's okay. We're going to do the whole top of this indigo, but we're going to alter that color. Believe me, you'll see momentarily what I'm going to do. And this is my favorite way to do things that are black and in the light, is I'll choose either a red or, in some cases, a green, depending on what the lighting around it is casting. In this case, we've got a lot of open sky areas, so we're going to have a lot of blue coming through. So, we have all of this. It's going to be just a hair lighter. Aww. Oh, thank you, Alexis. Let me see which, I'll check which red that is if you'd like. But, it's just, it looks to me more like a cherry red. Yep, he's a kid, that's for sure. Now, that's the indigo, so from Faber-Castell, the dark indigo. Now watch this. One of my favorite things to do. We are going to go with the Light Fast, Derwent Light Fast, which are not cheap. midnight black. Because, watch this. So this will end up getting more black on it. But it's like indigo and black mixed is what this color is. So when you get the second layer of it on there, look at this spot. It starts to look black. Yeah, that's what I thought they would do, Alexis, but my goodness, do they enjoy them. And I told Bonnie, I said, next time you go up there, grab them some more of those, please. And they were not expensive. They were like $1.49 each. That's not bad for a good dental cleaning for a pup. You know, and so far Chrissy and Buggy have had 2 days out of theirs. I do not know if Spooky is still alive or not. Possibly. It's spooky, it might be. There's a lot of texture on this paper. So I'm learning with you if it likes oil or wax better. So far we've not placed any wax. Huh. Interesting. So, I figure we'll create a little light and shadow to give it depth and have more fun with it. But obviously that angle is going to put this in shadow. Okay, let's get the rest of this with the midnight black, and then I'll come in with some black. And it's going to take more layers than this to get this down into the tooth of the paper. Believe me. But I think this is like screaming, I need wax. I'll show you how you do that without sacrificing the colors and quality that you want. Yeah, I thought I saw it in other colors. Maybe that's what I'll do. I was thinking make his ribbon a different color to get some attention. The hat band. Sorry, I haven't worn a cowboy hat in many years, but I do remember I had different hat bands on different hats. And it took me a second to remember what they were called. My brain just kind of went, I don't know about this today. Okay, so we've got an entire base layer on here. Not on the brim just yet, but we're getting there. I swear I'm going to unfollow that group because it seems like every 10 minutes I'm getting notifications. I have way more than that to do. I'm busy. Okay, so I'm going to come underneath. This will be very, very dark under here, but I don't want it to be completely black. So, and as you can see, I do not push hard on my pencils because A, you can break them. B, it's harder on your hands. And C, you get better color, honestly, if you go multiple layers instead of one hard layer. If you do one, I'm going to push down like I'm trying to smash them into the paper. It's not going to look nearly as good in the end. So, yeah, just kind of a trick for you. One of those, I play with all different kinds of paper things. So, I've experienced a lot with colored pencils. A lot. Oh my goodness, my leg. Oh, let's try that position. See if that'll help a little bit. You never know with me. Okay, so let's do that with the brim. We're going to grab the nightshade and blend it into that because nightshade is the darkest purple I've ever seen, and basically it's violet and black put together. And when you see certain things that are blue, sometimes in certain light they look purple if they're a blue-black, which I think is awesome because, you know, I like purple and teal. So Mr. Frog here is going to have my favorite colors, which is cool. Cool with me. Now, I'm going to grab the Polychromos black because that's what it's at hand, and I don't feel like going into my case for my light fastest at the moment. Okay, and that's going around the edge of that brim. Just the edge will be plain black, okay? And you watch, it's going to stand out in bright light. You'll see it is slightly different than that midnight black that's on the bottom of the brim. You see how it's kind of more... Whoa. Well, she scared the bejesus out of me. That scared the pants off me. So you see how it's different from... I don't know if you can tell. My goodness. Let's see. Can I lift this up so you can see? Yeah. So you can see where on the bottom of the brim it's lighter and less gray. Okay, let me see what you said. Oh. Well, I tried to tell you girls carry high. At least in our family. And that's what I've heard for everybody is little boys tend to sit low and little girls like to sit high. And it certainly proved true for you and your brother and sister. So now I'm adding some of this black on top of that midnight black where I want it extremely dark. And if I had the energy, I would have just pulled the light fast black out because it is creamier. Even though it's also oil. Those are my favorite pencils, I swear. I just have a love for them. I want the other 28 colors so bad. They're my favorite colored pencil. Don't go to sleep, computer, because I'm afraid that'll end the stream. And although we're almost done, we're not quite there. Okay. So we're going to do that. And we're going to skim it very lightly. I mean, it's just barely touching the paper right now across this middle, where it's the midnight black. Once I show you how to make this a little bit waxy and move it down into the tooth of the paper, then I'm going to call it quits for the day. Because like I said, sleep is not my friend lately. And I think I need to take my medication for my back and take a nap. Truthfully, because I'm not feeling so hot. Not unexpected though. I'm going to add a little more black in here though. Darken this nightshade and this midnight black up just a bit. Not too much. Just a tad. You see how I go in layer after layer? That's because it builds your color up to where it's a deeper, more dimensional, more finished looking piece. Instead of looking flat on the paper, it kind of lifts it up off the paper, is I think what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to grab that dark indigo again. And I'm going to come right through here and blend that dark indigo into that midnight black and black, so that I am getting a really nice color transition, and there's no sharp stops and starts, because I don't want that, that's for sure. That would not look so good. This needs a little bit more right there. And then we'll come through here like that, and then watch this little pop I'm going to do to the blue. I am going to grab what is one of my favorite colors in this for blues. Oh, I don't have it out, do I? Do I? Please tell me I do. Please tell me I do. Yes. Okay, my Derwent Lightfast Sapphire. I love this blue. It's so pretty. Even going over something else. So where it is highlight, I'm turning it more of a bright blue. And I'm just kind of going to fade it gently in. And then I'll add a little bit more indigo. And then I'll show you how we're going to blend this all together and make it look super smooth. But see, that light point would kind of stand out through the middle here. Not too much, but a little. And it's also the color that we're going to pull in on the hat band, because it's such a pretty bright blue. And it will tie it all together for this hat. I thought about doing red. And I thought, no, I think I want sapphire for the hat band. Because he's going to have some sapphire on him. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh. Yeah. Boys are low. That's what I kept telling her. Oh. That's right. And your sister beat my ribcage about half to death. My gosh. Okay. Go on. Just stay quiet, please. Okay. Put this back where I had it. If my brain will let me function. Oh, that's what I wanted it. It was still in hand for. Is I wanted to blend a little more indigo into the sapphire since I added another color into what will become our mix here and our blend. So what I'm doing is blending, but when I add color upon color, I'm creating a different color, and that is mixing color. So it's a little different. Boy, you need to wait. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is one of my favorite tricks for blending. I am someone who loves liquid blenders, but a lot of people don't have access at the right on hand to odorless mineral spirits, which, because this is all oil based right here, that's what I would use, and it would make it super smooth and gorgeous. But there is a secondary thing you can do, and I keep showing you guys this. Prismacolor colorless blender. Grab a lighter. I don't want to do this right under the camera at the moment. So what I'm going to do is just heat that tip up for a second. Let it start to cool off. I even give it a little blow. Okay. Now, I'm going to come in from my brightest color into my darkest, because I don't want to mix more dark into it than need be. And if you don't get out of my bedroom, boy, I am coming for you. So out.
Okay, but
nope, nope, nope. You cannot be talking. You'll live, I promise. Go. Sarah, I'm going to cook your son. Momentarily. So I'm using the wax blender, and what I'm doing is I'm wiping off the tip anytime I'm going into a different shade. Okay, so what this is going to do is this is going to add a little wax to it, and then once there's wax, and with any wax-based pencil, rubbing alcohol, guys, it's your best friend for blending. You can do it on a Q-tip or a blending stump, and you will get just as pretty a result. Now, if you want to sit here and burnish your paper with this, you can. I don't like to burnish paper, first of all, because it damages it. And secondly, my hands hurt. And thirdly, I really don't think that's going to push that down into the grain of this paper based on what I'm seeing here. Some pages, a lot of pages, like in the Kirby Rosanis books, I don't have to go beyond this method. I get everything I need out of it. But on this paper, we're going to need just a little bit of liquid blender. Not much. Okay, so now I put all the wax I need on there, and I don't think you can see it. There's little tiny particles floating on top of the color of the excess wax. So here is where I grab an inexpensive makeup brush, and rather than get that pigment caught down in the paper, I take and sweep it off of it so that I'm not getting pigment where I don't want pigment, basically is what it comes down to. And then you take rubbing alcohol or one of these alcohol blending pens, and believe me, this side has quit putting out moisture, and I just dip it in some rubbing alcohol and we're all good. We're going to see if that's what I have to do this time. But first, I'm going to use the other end, which is the bullet nib, and I'm going to come in here on this bright, bright, bright blue and watch that start to melt into the paper. I'll bet it will. Yep. That's what we needed, was the tiny bit of wax and some alcohol, or just use some odorless mineral spirits if you have them, and an old brush. For me, I have them in a water brush that is dedicated to the odorless mineral spirits. So, Yes, it will cause the colors to lighten up a little bit by using any kind of wet blend, especially when you've got a tip like this, but your result, in my opinion, is much smoother. So, okay, now I'm going to go, strangely enough, I went light into dark, and now I'm going to move dark into the medium and into the light. Yes, I will need another coat of color on this main part of the hat, but that's okay with me. You know, that to me is the relaxation in it, is making it turn into exactly what I want it to. But no, it may not. I might just do what I want. Just a little bit of rubbing. In fact, it didn't need more than that. Just a little bit of rubbing. And there we are. We have our hat. And I'm wiping off my tip. And if you want to clean these tips, dip them in rubbing alcohol and wipe them out really good. Get out. Because I said no. Nope. I don't care. If I say no, it's no. Sorry, folks. Kids. Oh. Okay, so I'm trying to show you up closer. Look at that. There's no more white tooth of the paper showing through. We have all of what we need there. And I'm going to go one step beyond that, just to make sure this stands out. I have all my pencils in drawers, except for one set that I use. The other sets are going to get their own little individual holders too. Okay, back to that sapphire blue. And we're going to make that brighten up just a little bit. Kind of darken it, which will make it look brighter, believe me. Because I want that spot in the highlighting to stand out big time. And I'm going to pull it back so it just melts in. Now you shouldn't go in this quickly. You should make sure that your paper is completely dry. But I kind of, the paper, I'm seeing how much it can handle. Look at that. That is what I wanted right there. Make sure there's no white showing, because I don't want any white to be showing right there. Yep. I am very, very pleased with that hat. What do you guys think? Who knows you didn't mean it? Yes, you did, Piglet. Oh, don't be sorry, baby girl. Believe it or not, yours was the easiest of the 3 pregnancies, and I actually got to enjoy being pregnant with you. With Tia, you know, she and I were both pretty sick through the process because she's Rh negative and I'm Rh positive. And then there's Nico, you know, with the whole I had cancer thing. So yours was actually the easiest of my pregnancies, and I used to sit and you're gonna get a giggle out of this. I would set something on my belly button and watch you kick it up into the air. And Bob and I used to just laugh. So no, baby girl, you have nothing to be sorry for. It was an absolute joy to be pregnant, other than when I got, you know, so big that it was uncomfortable to breathe, move, or walk. But that's any baby. It doesn't matter. And I never got especially big for someone who was pregnant, but whew, still. Okay, now I'm happy, completely happy with his hat. I like it. It's got some purple, it's got some bright blue, it's got some deep indigo and black. I think it looks okay. What do you guys think? Let's get you up close there. There we go. Now it's in focus for you. I think it looks okay. I think with that, we are going to take a stop because we are at about 2 hours. I'm tired. I have a crazy 7-year-old trying to keep my attention, drive me up the walls. But, you know, that's what 7-year-olds do. I might eat him, but that's okay. You do. You get big. I was always all baby, and I had no fat on me at all. And, I mean, you were 6 pounds. Tia was 6'4", and Nick was 6'10". So I didn't have big babies. You have big babies. Aw, thank you, Gail. So, keep an eye on my Instagram, and in the next few days, you should see him completed, because, you know, I won't have a camera in the way, and I'll be able to go in and do all kinds of things to him. But we have a good base start on him, and his hat's completed, and we have part of our flowers done. So, I hope that you all have an awesome, wonderful weekend. You all really are in my thoughts and prayers, and I hope that you guys are staying safe and that all of your loved ones are safe. It's just been such a tremendously difficult, 14 months on everybody. And I keep praying that this will really get better. Oh my, yeah, he was supposed to be a big baby. He was big enough all on his own. But you guys have an awesome weekend. And I will do my very level best to see you next weekend for live, and to try and get a diamond painting video out for you this week. Yeah, me. Alexis, I wasn't very big, but I would set stuff on me and they would just kick them off. So I couldn't use anything that was glass or breakable, because the girls kept kicking it off. And I swear Nick kept kicking the bottom of my belly. It hurt. Oh, good Lord, she's going to be a big little girl. Whew, that's a big baby girl. A lot bigger than her grandmom or her mom. But you all stay safe. Have a great time this weekend and throughout this next week. And I will be continuing to pray for you all. And I just enjoy what you're doing, folks. I think that's, at this point, we just need to really appreciate that we are healthy and safe enough to enjoy what we love to do. So take your time, smell the roses, take a deep breath, and try to enjoy what you can of life. And I'll see you again next time. Bye.